Left 4 Dead 2 review. Why is that infected puking? What? What is this noise? Now, Left 4 Dead 2 is the co-op first-person shooter, which is the sequel to Valve Corporation's very successful Left 4 Dead. Just like in the original, you get to play as one of the 4 survivors in the aftermath of a pandemic. Fighting your way through hordes of infected, your main goal is to reach the end of campaign and possibly be rescued. Now, Valve has kept the same gameplay that was in the original. However, they also added some new features into Left 4 Dead 2 that make the game that much more enjoyable. They have added new special infected, such as jockeys, chargers, and spitters. They've added some new weapons, game modes, and they've also managed to tie all 5 campaigns together pretty well. The new weapons are mainly melee, however there is also a new bomb which is called Bile Bomb. It is basically the vomit from a boomer, so you can use it to attract infected to a certain area. I like to use mine in conjunction with the katana because now that I can decapitate these infected, I want to decapitate hordes of these infected. And I mean, the only thing better than that is going through these guys with a chainsaw. I mean, come on. You can't beat that. Well, maybe you can. But maybe that'll be in Left 4 Dead 3. Who knows? Valve has kept the same 3 game modes that were in the original. However, they have also added 2 new modes, which are Scavenger and Realism. Now in Scavenger, you get to play a 4-on-4 match in which the survivors race against the clock to collect as many gas cans as they can to keep their generator powered. Now the more gas they collect, the more time goes on the clock. And while the survivors are busy doing this, the infected are trying to do everything they can to stop them. Because let's face it, the infected don't want to see you succeed. They just want to kill you, and then eat your brains. Because that's what they do. Now, Realism is the new co-op mode that can be done in any difficulty, and it adds a pretty big challenge to the game. In this mode, you're going to want to do a lot of headshots because they do the most damage. Body and limb shots aren't going to cut it anymore. Also, if you die in Realism mode, there's going to be no respawns. The only way you're coming back is if Jimmy has a pair of paddles and he can shock you back to life. The main thing I love about Realism mode is it forces players to keep together and use communication in order to win. Without communication, you're not going to get very far. There are a few things that I can nitpick about, like the campaign not being as long as I want it to be, or the fact that when I'm trying to get the gnome achievement, the gnome takes up half my goddamn screen. But really, there's nothing major that turns me away from this game. And I mean, I strongly recommend it to anyone who is a fan of the first, or to anyone who likes a first-person shooter. I think it's well worth the investment.